So yeah, that was rather expensive. Week. But worth it.
Right.
Ended up doing a first look video for the new F1 game.
Nice.
Obviously me and David are going to look again tomorrow, but I said to him, you know, if you're going to watch my, if you're going to watch my first look video, go in with an open mind. Don't sort of take anything that I've said into sort of consideration. Well, basically I turned around and said to him, if you watch the video, and then if you do watch it, I'll let you make your own mind up, basically. When he plays it a bit more.
Right.
And so it's up, it's up to him to make his mind up. I've got my views about it. He'll have his. But then Alan will end up getting it when he gets back from wherever he is he's working, so that'll be a lot more content coming.
Right.
Why does that always have difficulty? Try and fill it up with a pan. Fill the vehicle up with a pan and it always seems to have difficulty.
I don't know. I don't recall having difficulty.
What do we do with the buckets? Oh god, no. I kept a bucket still. For that. In a filling bit. Oh, there's a bucket. Am I clear to get this running up again now? Now I'm back here.
Yep. That valve sound effect?
Yeah.
Reminds me of the valve sound effect from Myst.
Oh yeah. Did you finished that game?
Well, not the new one. Not the remastered version, but it's like, I mean, I played the original back in the day.
Yeah.
So
I was reading something that kind of made me disappointed a little bit.
Oh.
Well, apparently, Ron Gilbert's not going to be sharing much more information now to do with the Monkey Island game.
Oh.
Because of apparently fans.
So what's the problem with fans? What'd they do?
Apparently there's people have been quite opinionated to do with the fact that he's making another Monkey Island so many after slot, and some fans have been trolling him quite hard over.
That's unfortunate, because I heard a little of that, and which I expected some level of that, but yeah, I didn't realize that it was getting getting that bad. That's sad.
Yeah, it's gone to the point of, you know, he's still gonna make the game, he's just not gonna share information about it.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't blame him, and
No. It's just quite sad.
Oh, it is. It is.
Why the fuck am I having problems filling this vehicle up? I mean,
Does it
oh
not
yeah.
work for the bucket?
Yeah, it usually works for the bucket, but...
So, because I usually always use the pan, but...
yeah, I just can't seem to get the... Because you have to get the shadow over it for some reason.
Well, yeah, though you have to pour it in the right place. That makes sense.
But every time I've been trying to do it...
Yeah, that looks right.
Oh, now it does it. But it hadn't been doing it.
Because I wasn't watching.
Yeah. I mean, I'll buy it, you know, when he does do it, I definitely would buy it.
Sure.
Because I love Monkey Island series.
Yeah, me too. So, and yeah, it's like, excuse me, it's like, I was surprised too, as far as like, wow, okay, but it's like, not in any negative way. Like, I was just surprised, like, wow, okay, cool. I'm glad to see that there's, enough interest to warrant doing more of that. That's cool. Like, not like, oh, blah, 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 about it. Like, that's annoying. That's stupid.
I mean, like I said, after the...
People are dumb.
Number 2? After the Curse of LeChuck or whatever the hell it was, I was so hoping for another game.
Yeah. Yeah, well, a lot of people were. I mean,
Because it's like... Did you ever play the Broken Swords?
No.
Oh, okay. They were...
I'm trying to remember that. I vaguely recall that. I'm trying to remember which one that one is. I'm pretty sure I'm familiar with, but did not actually play. Or I might have attempted to play, but didn't get into. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. So... Just having a quick look.
Yeah, I wish I could do that without pausing the game.
Yeah, I know, that's really... Battle set's a bit shitty. I'm using my phone rather than my laptop. Broken.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, technically I could do that too.
Because there's 5? Because there's Broken Sword 5, but that's like 2013. The original... Oh god, Broken Sword and the Angel of Death, 2006. Broken Sword... I didn't really get into the, like, Shadow of the Templars or Broken Sword 5. I kind of sort of got into the 2006 game. But the main ones for me was Broken Sword. The original Broken Sword, which 1996, and then obviously Broken Sword 2, The Smoking Mirror. And then you had Sleeping Dragon in 2003, Angel of Death 2006, Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Curse in 2013. A remake of the first game in the series known as Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars. The director's cut was released in 2000. Yeah, Broken Sword was Revolution Software. George Storbar, an American patent lawyer, and Nico Collard, a French freelance journalist. Like I say, I liked the first original Broken Sword and Broken Sword 2, and after that I just sort of went off the game. I mean, for me,
Right.
I like the classics, so I like, you know, the original Monkey Islands, the original Sam and Max stuff.
Yeah, Sam Max is good.
Day of the Tentacle,
Yep.
which is on Game Pass, by the way, Day of the Tentacle.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the thing is though, Day of the Tentacle is a weird one for me because it's like I definitely played it back in the day. Never finished it back in the day.
Did.
And you know, it's like this classic or whatever, and and I agree that like totally a classic, whatever. But I honestly don't like the game. It's a weird one where like if anybody says like Day of the Tentacle, I'm like, oh yeah, toads, blah blah blah. But I've never finished it, and I don't actually like it as far as actually enjoying playing with it because I get frustrated, because it's just so freaking convoluted half the time. I just don't have the patience for it. But I respect what it is, and its you know, effect on, you know, the adventure game you know, industry. But I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed the King's Quest games back in the day.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So, and
I had to think about that one for a moment.
yeah. So, because King's Quest 1 was...
Didn't that get re-released?
Excuse me. Huh?
Didn't that not get re-released, or was that a quest for the king? Something like that.
Yeah, it was re-released. And because the original King's Quest game was horrible looking. I mean, good for what it was attempting to do at the time, but it was just obnoxious to play, you know. But again, it's like without any direct comparison. Like by today's standards, it's like holy shit, really. But like at the time, it was still that really experimental time where, you know, and like the idea of like UIs in games were really challenging. So it's like kind of before that introduction, it was one of the first kind of like adventure games that, you know, kind of set the stage for point and click, but it isn't a point and click. You actually use, you know, the arrow keys to kind of move your character in a direction, and you've got a static screen. When you go to the edge of the screen, it loads the next screen. And then instead of having buttons down at the bottom to use stuff in the environment, you literally had to like type stuff out. So you'd be like, look around, and it would tell you like, oh, you're in a meadow and blah, blah, blah. And you can kind of see stuff, but you know, it's not like high resolution or anything.
Yeah.
And so it'd be like, oh, you see a rock on the ground. It's like, okay, like pick up rock, you know, use rock. And but the problem was the syntax was so limiting that, you know, so often, like I remember completely just like losing my young brain over this thing because in just a spiral of rage. Because there's like one part of the game where you have to get the end result of what you're trying to accomplish is that there's a big eagle bird flying around, and what you're actually trying to accomplish is you're trying to get it to like pick you up and fly you to where you need to go.
Yeah.
And but trying to figure out specifically what the verbiage was for accomplishing that goal was just rage inducing. You know, like I ended up actually never, god damn it, I actually never
Paid for that.
never paid for that. I think it was like only the one. And it's easy enough to refill. But the come on. But yeah, so those kind of like text, and it wasn't the only one. There was a couple at the time that did that whole kind of text interface, and then it rolled over to like Day of the Tentacle, where you had that kind of point and click with that UI, where you had that kind of clunky UI of like use, look, you know, and then you could kind of attach those verbs together. So it was like use and then this thing in my inventory with that thing in the environment, you know. So and that really solved a lot of that
Because Sam and Max was very
problem.
similar. The original Sam and Max was very similar.
Yeah, and well, there was that whole kind of, you know, like time frame where they use the same, where a lot of point and click adventure games all use the same interface.
Yeah.
And
Well-
that became the standard for a bit, where you had that.
Well, another one.
Had that, and there was like a whole bunch of games in that era, like Zach McCracken,
I don't think
which so many people just don't seem to remember, like Zach McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders. Like I don't.
I've heard
Like
of
to
it.
me, like to me that's like, you know, like Day of the Tentacle stuff. You know?
Yeah, I did hear of it, but I just never. I don't think I ever got a chance to play it. Well,
Yeah, and I recently tried to, like, I bought a copy of it on Steam because they did a re-release, and it was like $3 or something. So I bought it on Steam, and I attempted to play it. I knew I wouldn't last very long, and I really didn't. Because I don't have the patience for those kind of games, and there's been some newer like point and click adventure games that have tried to like harken back to those quote good old days. But the problem is that those good old days had a lot of problems.
yes.
Like, because when you remove the nostalgia value from everything, those good old days were a pain in the ass, and a lot of, you know, there was a lot of points of failure. Like, there was a lot of ways you could fail, and like Zach McCracken, there were points of the game where if you didn't do things in a certain order, you could actually play for a long time without realizing you're going down a dead end. And then get completely stuck and have to like replay like almost the entire game because you know, went a certain way, and because you end up having to travel, because with Zach McCracken, you do a lot of traveling from place to place via using the plane,
Yeah.
and it costs money. So you have a finite amount of money. So you could totally like, and there's an order to things. So if you go to a certain location and you haven't gone to this other location to get this item yet, then you can't proceed in this area. So you'll have to like fly back and then explore the next area. So if you don't know this, you could easily like lose all your cash just exploring around, trying to figure everything out, and then completely dead end yourself.
Yeah.
And so like there's just a lot of stuff like that, and some janky stuff that it's like, yeah, because there was what was it, a few years back, there was yeah, I'm trying to remember what the hell it was. There was a point and click adventure game that came out, very like classic nostalgia type of thing, and one of the things that they really promoted was like, you know, like the classical point and click adventure games and blah blah blah, and it was done by a decent sized studio. Like they did a good job with it for what it was. But the sad thing was, I played through the whole thing, and I'm like, yep, this is very authentic, right down to all the reasons why these point and click adventure games are rage inducing.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's, you know, so a bit of a pro and a con there. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, you are being authentic, but maybe you shouldn't have kind of been in certain ways.
I mean, I used to get frustrated with the Grim Fandango, for Christ's sake, but I did complete it.
Oh yeah, same. I mean, I completed Grim Fandango, but yeah, Grim Fandango again, you know, is one of those things. And back in the '90s, you were dealing with, you know, a very exciting time where there were constantly new genres of games coming out, right? Because it was a very experimental time, which made things very, very interesting. But you were dealing with, because of the experimental time, like adventure games initially were shit, but they were new, they were exciting, right? And it's like we didn't have a point of comparison to be like, oh, they're shit. And whereas now it's like, you know, over time as more games come out, they use that as a foundation, and then they improve upon it, and then they improve upon it, and that's what we do today. We continue to iterate, and now it's, you know, less you know, big studios and more indie developers that do a lot of that iteration, but still the underlying idea of, you know, that iteration in design to make things better over the course of different games and learning what to do and what not to do. Like today, it's VR, right? Like VR over the last several years has been trying to figure out, well, what space does VR make sense for? And originally, VR they tried to like kind of put everything into VR, right? It was like, oh, okay, well, VR is good for everything, and it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of good things where VR is very applicable and can create kind of new genres and new ways of doing things that that are very new and exciting. But it's not. It's a matter of kind of figuring out what that is and what works and what doesn't work, and that's kind of what we've seen within that space. So it's like VR to me reminds me just a lot of the '90s,
Yeah.
where everything was just trying to figure out its place.
So we have 324 on the Cloutium.
Oh, cool. So we have enough for one tier 2 drill.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this new site hopefully should be far more performant on getting us.
The gold is worth over 118,000.
Sweet.
So I don't know what you want me to do with it. Do you want me to keep it going, or do you just...
Well, let's just keep it going for now, I guess. I mean, I'll leave it up to you. If you want to break it down and make something out of it, that's cool. But otherwise, I mean, no harm in just letting it grow.
Iron is up to 6,693.66.
Nice.
It's worth about 80,000. Okay.
Well, that's cool.
I'll start it up again.
Well, I might have this thing done by the end of, today.
Possibly.
So, I mean, done being a relative term. By done, I mean at least turning it on to see if it works.
Yeah.
So, is my goal. Because I've already been doing this for over an hour.
An hour and 22 minutes.
Yep, that is over an hour. Okay, so that can come down to there, and then...
And the time he goes down there, he forgets his mining helmet.
Yep.
But yeah, you do, like I say, you do have the harvester over there, so...
Yeah.
You just don't have any smelter things yet either. But, that's fine. You just basically, you don't have to turn the conveyors on, you just basically turn the drills on, see if they kick something out.
Well, I want to get the whole thing set up.
Oh yeah.
Before turning it on here, so that it goes up and it's going to go to the harvester, all the smelting things are in place. Like I want to get the whole thing hooked up, ready to go before turning it on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's see. What do we have for stairway options? Do you know? Because I know we got the wooden stairs. Do we have any other stairs? Are there stone stairs? Is that a thing?
I'd like to say yes, but I'm not sure where.
Well, that'd be all the stone stuff was at Icehelm.
Yeah. I can take a truck over and check.
Yeah.
I've left the money maker going, so if it breaks, then well, shit.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be long.
Yeah.
God, this drives horrible. I wish remote play you could both use a keyboard and mouse. I'd be much happier.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Or a better multiplayer option.
That would be nicer.
Where was the construction stuff?
To be, see to your left on your screen there, right in there, in that little building.
Okay. It's double wooden stairs,
Yeah, it's just roof.
stone roof. There you go.
No, that's
They're just
angled
stone
wall.
walls.
So no. Looks like the only stair options are the wood. Huh? A bummer. That is very disappointing.
There's not other sets as well though. Is there not like cottage sets and stuff like
Yeah, you can check the cottage. You can check the other sets, but I have a feeling there's probably not the only.
Where the hell are the other sets? I think
well, the cottage set is in town somewhere.
There's a one near a set thing near us. We'll have a quick look. Wait. Oh,
So I mean, sort of. Well, I mean, we got the concrete, at least part of the concrete stuff near us, but I think it's basically just the concrete, the cottage, and the stone. I think are the only sets I'm aware of.
There we go. I watched the little short of the end screen shenanigans from our Rubber Bandits
Oh yeah.
that I highlighted. It still makes me laugh even watching.
Yeah, I showed Beth a little bit of that. She found it pretty amusing.
There's a night sets here. It's just a fish marketplace.
Huh?
It's a stock market for fish, which is up. I thought there was thing. Yeah, I'm guessing.
Nope, I don't think so. Not that I recall. So, because the cottage stuff and the other stuff is back in town. So, no, that's the better fishing rod.
Yeah. You have to get by rim.
Costs one shrimp.
Didn't even know. There. So I didn't know that was... Okay. Because there's definitely nothing over that bridge. To my knowledge. Oh no, it's a cemetery. Okay, fine, I'll... Statue. Okay, it's town. There's definitely nothing up towards the jeweler's top.
Huh?
Why would they be adding a jailbreak out?
Why can't I place that there?
Wooden double concrete floor, tin sheet ramp. I'm guessing. I guess it would be only the wooden at the minute.
I mean, that's a bit of a bummer. I mean, they got the other, they got the other styles there for, like, flooring and walls and stuff, but only the one.
Jewel, it's still down 98.2. But might be on the rise because we haven't sold any. Cottage floor. Cottage. Wall piece. Batch. Guessing there is no. Guessing there is no stair type with the cottage stuff. Because cottage pillar foundation. Pillar half, cottage doorway. Okay, yeah, I guess there isn't actually any stone steps, which is a bit of a bummer.
Indeed. Ah, well.
Alright, I better go back to the money maker. Have enough spanners for now. It's only, even though I've been away that time, they're only on about 55 and yeah. Still had a bit more time to do a bit more exploring, like. Because water filters are still fine.
Nice.
I don't know if we've got any more on the onyx yet. Yeah, a bit more on the onyx. Emerald. Definitely a bit more on that emerald. The emerald's to the point it's now worth more than the onyx.
Of course.
The emerald, the sapphire, and the ruby seem to obviously spawn more, but as you know, onyx is the rarer. As we know, onyx is the rarer one.
Yeah, I mean it's more valuable, but we just don't get as much weight, so it just kind of balances out to where it's actually not more valuable in the grand scheme of things. Okay, so that's gonna go like that. Alright, so let's get our bendy points in place so we at least know what's going on there. That's gonna go like that.
It seems like 2022 is kind of a little bit of a disappointing year for video games.
Yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best.
I'm still waiting for it to come up on pre-order announcements for Ragnarok, because they've given a release date for Ragnarok.
Right.
9th of November, I believe. But it's not come up available yet. You can pre-order it on the PlayStation Store, but
Right.
I don't want to go down. I really don't want to go down the digital route again.
Right.
But I'm tempted because the store where I usually get
Yep.
pre-orders from is basically.
Yeah, that's right there, though. Okay, so yeah, we'll have to.
Not allowing me to pre-order yet. Oh, okay, they've actually give a bloody release date by the looks of it to Skull and Bones as well. Which I kind of get. To me, Skull and Bones, I feel, is a bit. Trying to rival.
Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't looked too closely at Skull and Bones. I know it exists, and I had a similar feeling from what little I saw. I was like, okay, so trying to compete with Sea of Thieves, got it. Moving on.
Yeah, they're trying to sort of compete with it, but well, I'm kind of keeping it on my radar a little bit.
Right.
Well, it's not, obviously, it's only going to like Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5. So, did you bring a pallet with you?
No. No, I forgot my pallets.
I've still, like I said, I've still kept my original PlayStation subscription. I haven't really bothered upgrading because I don't see the point. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And I bet that's not going down. I bet that's not dropping down the console. Oh, it is dropping down the console. Oh, why do you do this? I forgot about that. Saints Row.
What about Saints Row?
There's gonna be another one.
Is there?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, played that with Beth, and Saints Row is one of Beth's biggest disappointments. Not because she didn't like the game, it's because which one did we play? It was played like was it Saints Row 4, I think. I don't know, the one where you're basically kind of like in the Matrix and you've got kind of superpowers and shit.
Was that where you're the president?
I think so.
Yeah.
So but you end up like in like there's like digital space and you can basically like have like super jump and like these other things and really like over the top. She really enjoyed it. It's just the problem is we ran into a problem where our save file just kind of like stopped working correctly. It was no longer saving progress for both of us correctly.
Yeah.
And I looked into it. It was a known bug, and it was never resolved. And so we ended up having to abandon it. And she was just really, really sad because we agreed that well, unfortunately, we can't play anymore. But she really wanted to play more of it. So that was a bit of a big bummer.
Yeah, but yeah, there is going to be another Saints Row. I mean, I've still got to go back and do Borderlands. I mean, I never give that game a lot of chance, which is a shame. Because I bought it and I never.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, Borderlands is not really a fun game single player. There's you can definitely play it single player, and I'm sure there's people that have definitely enjoyed it that way. I've tried playing Borderlands 1 and 2 by myself years ago, and I was never able to get very far into either one of them.
Oh, I did.
And it wasn't until I got into Borderlands 2 with Beth that we actually that I finished the whole thing with her. But
well, I did Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, and I also did the other one. The little extra add-on thing. Can't remember what that's called.
For which one?
The one with Handsome Jack.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I played that either. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I don't think we ever actually played that add-on.
Yeah, Borderlands, the Handsome Collection, which obviously was Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel, which is what I've got. So yeah, I've done Borderlands.
I don't think we ever did the pre-sequel, but we've done Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3, and Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
I keep looking at that, I keep looking at it. Because it is done by, it's obviously, it's a spin-off, isn't it? In the Borderlands series. It's Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Yeah. I mean, it's a standalone game because they had the DLC for the previous game, which was, I forget what it was called, but it was basically Tiny Tina's, tabletop type of gaming. A lot of people enjoyed the DLC, so they just kind of turned it into a whole experience. And yeah, I mean, it's not bad for what it is. I mean, I got some mixed feelings on it, but I think that was more me than really anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it stands up, you know, on its own, I think, pretty well. The only thing that I found, I think, genuinely disappointing was the some of the weapons, because they're trying to do the whole like fantasy mixed with, like, you know, guns type of thing, which I'm totally in support of. You know, I definitely like that idea. The I think where I ran into some problems with that, though, is that, like, especially early on, the only pistol and sniper rifle options are kind of like crossbows, and they feel really underwhelming.
Yeah.
The way they do that, they lack a punch to them, and they just don't feel all that fun to use. So look, I'm buying lighting.
Yeah, I've been meaning, like I said, I was meaning to look at like Tarantino. Never got around to it.
Yeah. Oh, the only other big thing, which I was really surprised by with that game, is lack of vehicles.
Yeah.
And like, I understand it's a fantasy game, but there's ways you could have introduced some vehicles, and vehicles have always been a big staple of the Borderlands franchise.
Yep.
So I was kind of a bit surprised by that. What am I doing? Taking the money. That's what I'm doing. Taking the money and running over here, so I can then spend more of it.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I liked this character, but he annoyed the absolute shite out of me.
Who?
In Borderlands.
What character?
Mr. Claptrap.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Beth is definitely on your side. She absolutely hates Claptrap.
I like him, but he annoys the shit out of me.
And I like him. He doesn't annoy me. I just, like, because he is, like, supposed to be like an annoying character. Like, that's his whole shtick. But like I enjoy him. Beth, on the other hand, just despises him so much so that in Tiny Tina's. No, in Tiny Tina, we actually actively avoided any quest from Claptrap.
Like I said, he was annoying, but there was just something about Claptrap I liked, even with his annoyance.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy Claptrap because he's just, you know, I don't know, he's just entertaining. But yeah, Beth just she just hates him. Okay. I know I'll be back, but let's just take that stuff for now and see where that brings us.
Now my sort of ex-brother-in-law like...
Wow. Got a mad air on that. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Man, that was sweet.
My
ex-brother-in-law
sort of really into like the Borderlands stuff. Like Borderlands and the Last of Us games as well. Wow, that truck can't be happy. Was it buried in the ground or was?
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah. Like the Last of Us games, like the Last of Us 1, they're actually remaking for PS5, and it's like, just because we're on a lull on video games this year, you don't have to remake games. Like,
Yeah.
don't remake original other games and just bring them to other consoles.
So, well, I mean, they can feel free to bring it, you know, to PC. That'd be fine.
See, Last of Us Part 2 got a lot of shtick over a certain character, and it's like, well, why not fucking include something like that in the game? It was over to do with the trans character and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the way what...
Oh, you're always going to get a lot of that,
And
you know,
what-
and it's a shame, you know, but, well, it's like recently, the whole, you know, buzz about Lightyear movie, you know, where there was like one scene.
Oh, is it the
don't know,
kiss?
Yeah. Like, and it's such a passive scene, like, it's not, like, it's just, it happens, they move on, and, but, like, people just, like,
Lost
there was
the
so many
shit
people
over it.
that, yeah, they were so friggin' upset about it, and it was like, what is your major malfunction? You know, like, it's just so ridiculous.
Was Lightyear Disney? Was it a Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at it. Well, in ways, but
So, I mean, I haven't seen the movie myself yet, which I want to. 'cause
I do.
like the-
I want to see it, but yeah, I've heard about it. It was something to do with like sort of the kiss scene. And it's like,
yeah, that's
look,
all I heard, and I'm like, seriously?
Disney have done far worse. Believe you me.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
I kind of get why they did what they did, but with this movie removing it from streaming platforms, but still, it's a kind of a little bit of a classic. I take it you've heard, obviously, songs of the South.
Oh, I heard something about that, yeah.
They removed it. But it actually got removed during the BLM movement.
Mm-hmm.
More. It got pushed off that.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I get what the, you know, Songs of the South was about and how it portrayed. But you don't see Family Guy getting screwed for its certain episode. You don't see Fox getting up. Well, yeah, no. Why has that not been got up in shit over it? So you know the one where, like is it the immigrant one, and then the slavery one? I don't know if you watch Family Guy.
I don't know. I mean, I do, but I don't know if I'm completely up to date on that or not.
But yeah, I don't get why they didn't get in shit for that, because obviously Fox is owned Disney. Yes, I think, if I remember. And obviously,
Probably.
Family Guy's obviously on Disney Plus and all that crap, and yeah, it just Family Guy's had a weird sort of run, because it gets canned and then it gets brought back and then it gets cancelled and brought back. And
Yeah, that's
but it
kind
makes
of been its whole shtick.
but it makes me laugh, because they always seem to take the piss out of it every time.
Yeah.
They sort of have a jib at it. I noticed that on Disney Plus again. I forgot. Is it Orville?
You're right, yeah.
Is it the Seth MacFarlane thing again? That's had another series.
Yeah, it's the Orville.
Yeah, it's had another series put on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried to get into that, and I just,
Yeah, I can't.
yeah, I
mean, I eventually finally watched all of the friggin' 100 thing.
Mhm.
It was good, but God, it took me ages to try and get into it. I kept wanting to sort of put it off and
Right.
stop watching it, but I just couldn't. I had to sort of see it through, and
Yeah, I enjoyed the 100. And I didn't have any trouble getting into it. I think by episode 3 is where I was like hooked into that show.
yeah, that's what I meant.
Um,
After the first two, and then it was a case of I wanted to get through it. because it wasn't bad, but it's just, yeah, it was one of them. That.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have any troubles with that, but
So
my only concern was with that show was like the first episode when I originally watched it. My concern was it being a bit of a teeny bopper show. You know, because like you got a scene where, you know, like obviously it's focused on the kids coming back to Earth, and then you have that one scene with Octavia being like, you know, like saying we're back bitches when they get out of the pod, and I'm like, really? Well,
yeah,
that's really cringy. And but then by the end of that episode is, you know, Jasper, by the end of the first episode, Jasper gets a spear to the chest.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we'll see how this goes. And it was recommended to me by Willow. And so I was like, all right, I'll see what's going on here. And and then I think it's by the third episode, it's when the girl ends up the little girl ends up killing that dude that I was like, okay, I'm in. You know, this is you're showing a level of seriousness here that I appreciate. So, and then I wasn't a big fan of the ending. I mean, I'm glad they ended it, but like that final season was a bit rough.
Yeah.
But okay, so I'm gonna need some more of these.
Oh, there's something I wanted to tell you about, but it's on Nat Geo. Obviously, it's on Disney Plus, but it was something to do. I was flicking through Disney Plus and I saw, and I can't remember where. Bloody shitting hell, I've seen it. I'm gonna have to search. The World According to Jeff Goldblum, that wasn't it. But that's just, yeah, I'm just having a quick flick through.
that sounds horrific.
That's on National Geographic. Why can't I find it? I'm gonna have to search this person up. And I can't remember how to spell her name. Let's kind of give it.
With a W.
Is it that bad? I'm gonna have to internet movie database them to get her.
Apparently.
I'm alright for the machines, because I did check the durability before. Yeah, if it...
One, two. Buckle my shoe. Okay.
That's why I couldn't spell it. Should serve everything. That's it. It's on. It's a weird thing. It's on National Geographic. It's like a season, but it's only got like 3 friggin' episodes. It's called Positive Energy, and it's to do with like Dallas Campbell and Carrie Byron reveal new ways to power our world into the future. I mean, it only. Guess it didn't last very long. But it was just interesting.
I guess you could say they ran out of power.
Hmm.
That's not even a very good joke. I'm sorry.
But it was just something I saw because I was like, Carrie Byron. Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because I know obviously Tory Belleci did the thing with Richard Hammond.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for as much as, you know, they made Tory out to be a bit of a clown on Mythbusters, he is actually quite intelligent.
Oh yeah. But he also was a bit of a clown.
Oh yeah.
I mean, one does not, you know, remove the other. But yeah, he's not an idiot.
No.
That's for sure.
I mean, my favourite one was Grant. Was yeah, Grant Imahara. He was my favourite.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
He passed a bit early.
Yes.